Hi guys, I'm Warwick. I'm the Managing Director of Alu-Cab. I've been with the company for 18 years. When I started in the beginning, there was about 12 of us and 350 square meters of factory. We now have approximately 410 people and about 10,000 square meters of factory under roof. And I'm going to unfortunately have to drive you around today to give you a bit of a factory tour. Like all things, I suppose I'll start you at the beginning. These two factories that I'm about to show you are the extrusion warehouses that receive the lengths of raw material and then prepare them for their relative processes. As you know, 99% of our product is based on an extrusion subframe, which gives the product the strength that we believe in. It's very fucking boring. Can't I just show you on the floor? So this factory that I'm about to show you now, well, half of it is a warehouse, the other half is a preparation factory that specializes in trimming and preparing extrusions for the other processes within the factories. This factory is in a state of flux at the moment. We're waiting for the shelving. We've just moved in. Not how it should look, but better than nothing right now. So as you can see in this factory here, we bring the extrusions out of the warehouse. They get trimmed to length depending on the product, obviously. Once they come out of the machines there, they come into this machine, which then does all the holes and preparation for the next process in the factory. More. So this is another raw material warehouse. This is where all the LASERCUT parts come in. So those are all outsourced for us by various service providers. So all the product now comes in on pallets, gets opened, checked for quality, obviously part count is correct for the order, and then it gets shelved and warehoused ready until the factory calls on the parts for tomorrow's production or next week's production, depending on the component. More, Cheslin. So yeah, as you can see, this is all the parts being sorted from this morning's delivery. It'll then get put up in the shelves wherever they belong, either this side or out here in the back. So these parts will now meet all the parts that you saw down at the previous factory, creating a single product. Okay, so this is one of our pre-manufacture workshops. This one specifically concentrates on the roof conversions. So as you can see on the shelves here, you'll see the extrusions from one of the previous factories we showed you, and then LaserCut parts over there. And then they go onto the welding tables there, and then the final parts of the process are completed here in the open yard. We are a bit early this morning, so there's no product out here right now. More. This is the pre-manufacturing factory for all our sort of high volume products. So you can see there everything that's come in from laser cutting has been pre-assembled, and then this will get fed out of here into the various welding stations and operators on the floor who will finish the final sealing and so on prior to powder coating. Once they're done here, they'll go through a quality process. They'll get stacked outside waiting for collection, and then they'll go down to the powder coating plants, and then from there they go to final assembly, which I'll show you a little bit later. More. These gents over here, pretty much all they do is make packaging frames so that we can load more product into containers. They make a step shelf to create more volume for us in the containers. So this is all the welding stations and pre-manufacture stations for the campers, interlinked with the one I've just showed you. It's literally just welding, a little bit of drilling, a little bit of riveting, a little bit of gluing. Quite an involved process, takes quite a while. We'll push it out through the back end of the factory on completion. All of these frames here that you see standing are waiting for some additional work on the floor. They'll then go through quality and then get pushed through to the next process, which is coating. This is a prototype. If I show you, I'll kill you. Ben julle vandag? And just to give you a bit more insight, you can see here is where the tents and the awnings are assembled. It's probably one of the busier places in our factories. This is one of the more important parts of our process. This is where the pre-manufactured product, so once it's complete in terms of welding and gluing, comes for coating. So this is our powder coating plant. As it stands at the moment, we're doing a full manual clean. It's the only way that we found to be reliable and safe in terms of the coating being decent quality. Come with me and I'll show you quickly. This is where the product is obviously first mechanically hand washed with acids and detergents. We then put it into a heated high pressure washer chamber down there where they get rinsed off. Once they're rinsed, the product goes into the ovens where it is dried. Once it's dried, it comes out of the oven. Then I'll take you around to the back spray booths over there. Here you can see how the guys are applying the powder to the product. For those of you who don't know what powder coating is, it's an electrostatically charged plastic powder. So we ground the product and then the powder effectively sticks to it using static electricity. And then as soon as it's done there, it goes into this oven there. You can see that's making it nice and hot now. Then it effectively melts the powder into a homogeneous surface coating.
No, sir, I don't want to be on camera. Why, sir?
Because I want you.
No, they put me on police files. You know, in trouble.
He says someone might recognize him and then he'll get into trouble. So this is the canvas factory. Essentially anything that's material, mattress covers, tenting, etc. all gets done in this factory. You can see over here, this is the cutting machine that we use to sort of confirm and make sure that our consistency is there. It's essentially a big CNC material cutter. So as you can see, all the products coming off the line over here. It then goes through various stages of quality control depending on the part. It then gets packaged over here. Paperwork invoiced out there, out that door into the truck, and then back to final assembly. So this is the main final assembly plant, well, only one rather. We've got a small powder coating plant in here as well, but I'll show you the whole process when we get inside. This is where all the pre-manufactured product comes in, as well as all the fasteners, glues, carpets, etc. that we need to complete the product life cycle inside of this factory. So this is a tent holding area. So the tents at the moment, we're a bit slow in production because we are busy with a model change. And what you would normally see is this is still stacked up with carcasses. They get taken down as per the day's production, fed onto the line down on the left there, and then similar with the canopies that get fed out through there. See here the guys are doing all the sort of fine work on the tents, all the roof linings, bags, seals, and so on. And you'll see they get married. You marry the top and the bottom together, and then they put the tenting itself in, and then it gets pushed through the line for the final sort of quality inspection. They pass quality in the factory, then they go through another testing phase outside, which I'll show you, and then they go into the boxing area. This little area here is where we do all our smalls, so the little accessories, canopy accessories, thaw accessories, can crushers, you name it, everything else gets prepared here, so the easily handleable parts. Slightly different treatment process for our powder coating in this factory. Two main reasons is that the size allows it, and the other reason is we do quite a bit of mild steel powder coating in this factory, which requires slightly different treatment. You can see here it's getting acid dipped, then it's rinsed, then another dip, and then another rinse. And then for steel, there's two other processes we include in it. We take these frames, obviously, once they're finished dipped, they stand here waiting in a queue. We stick them in this oven just to dry them off quickly. They then would typically come around, but I'm going to show you this way just for ease of walking. Môre Rushan, hoe gaan dit? Kom maar deur. Lekker koelie onder, né? So you'll see here's the parts that have come from the drying area. They'll be wheeled through. So this is a slightly different system. This is a continuous chain, a continuous monorail up top. The product gets loaded and unloaded at the same point. You'll see the guys are spraying down there in the spray booth. Fantastic for lots of small products. So in this area you can see we're assembling the kayak campers, and then over here we've got Alu-Cabins and canopy campers, and then further down there you'll see we've got roof conversions going together. So the quarantine area, this is where all the product comes off from the line. This is where it gets numbered and waits for the next process, which is obviously quality. What the guys do over here on tents specifically, they get pressure tested internally with air and then spray down the soapy solution. Post that, they then go into a wash bay, which is a continuous shower bay for another 20 minutes or so. Once that's done, they're passed, they're cleaned, inspected internally and externally, and then they come into this area here where the final packing is done, boxing, labeling, and then they move off to the FG warehouse, which I'll show you a little bit later. We are now at the final destination, finished goods. I'll show you around now. Post-COVID, this has become a problem, but I'll show you through it. This is the finished goods store, but typically we can't get vessels when we want them anymore. So we've got a bit of an overflow problem. It's not nearly as neat and tidy as it should be, but we've only got so much space. But this is all stock that we're waiting for ships on. We're a little bit behind on shipping. Canopies, canopy campers, kayaks, awnings, tents. So yeah, this is where everything leaves from here to wherever you are in the world. We hope you have amazing travels in it and tag us in your journey.